evening, everyone. Welcome to Myrank, and this is the class that is dealing with the discussion related to the mock test exam that has been conducted recently. And the class is going to be dealt with the zoology topic. So the first question, which of the following contraceptives is to be inserted in the uterus? So here the question is asking for the intrauterine devices, and now the options are implants, which are placed under the skin, so no answer. Then warts, it is a barrier method, so no. Saheli is an oral pill, so no. And LNG20, so this is the correct answer, which is an intrauterine device. Then the next question, innate immunity is provided by. So in here, when we mean innate immunity, it means we want something that deals with non-specific immunity. Now checking for the options, immunoglobulins and interferons as the first option. So here we need specificity, we need triggering of cell-mediated immunity. Then option 2, monocytes and T lymphocytes. Again, T lymphocytes are specific. Option 3, natural killers and interferons. They are non-specific. Option 4, gastric acid and B lymphocytes. B lymphocytes are again specific. So option 3, natural killers, NK cells and interferons. This is the correct answer for non-specific immunity or innate immunity. Then, which of the following pair is not correctly matched? And option 1 is ECG machine. The machine for ECG is called as electrocardiograph, whereas the chart that you get from the machine is called as electrocardiogram. So option 1 is correct. Then P wave represents. So what does the P wave represent in a ECG? P wave represents depolarization of atria. So correct. Then third option, QRS complex. QRS complex in an ECG represents the depolarization of ventricles, but the option states as repolarization of ventricles, which is not correct. So amongst the options, one of the following which is not correctly matched is option 3. Option 4 states that ECG is a graphical representation of electrical activity of the heart, which is correct. Then the next question, sequencing the whole set of genome and later assigning different regions in the sequence with functions. So what is it called as? So we are sequencing. Express tags includes the amino acids and their expression. So wrong. Sequence amplification. Amplification, that means multiplication. So wrong. Sequence expression, here we are concerned with what the gene sequence is resulting in. What is its resultant result? So that is also not correct answer. But the simple sequencing and assigning its function is referred as sequence annotation. So option 4 is the correct answer. Choose the correct option regarding male axillary glands. Question number 55. So here it states that option 1 states that seminal vesicles are 1 in number, which is false. Males have 1 pair of seminal vesicles. Option 2 states that prostate gland is in 1 pair, which is false. Prostate gland is a single gland, which is single, that is 1 gland. Option 3 is bulbourethral gland, which is in 1 pair. We have 1 pair of bulbourethral glands in males, which is correct. Option 4 states that Bartholin glands, which are 1 pair. Now, Bartholin glands are female axillary glands. So, option 4 is also wrong. Now, what is the correct answer? That is bulbourethral glands, which is 1 pair. Question number 56. Again, the incorrect statement. Option A states that in terrestrial ecosystem, larger fraction of the energy flow occurs through the detritus food chain, which is correct. Then option B states that in aquatic ecosystem, major conduit of energy flow is grazing food chain, which is correct. Then option C states that detritus food chain is not at all connected to grazing food chain at any level, which is wrong. All the food chains are connected to each other. resulting in the formation of a food web. So it is an incorrect statement. Then natural interconnection of food chains make it a food web, which is a correct statement. So amongst the following statements, option C, stating that detritus food chain is not connected to grazing food chain at any level, is a wrong statement. So that is the answer. So moving to next question, 57. Choose the incorrect statement. Again, the wrong statement from the following options. Option 1 states that primary productivity is always more than net primary productivity, which is true. Then option 2 states that net primary productivity is always more than secondary productivity, which is also true. Then third statement states that gross primary productivity minus the respiratory loss indicates the net primary productivity, which is also correct. Now, what is the common thing from here? So whenever the productivity is moving from one level to another level, there is always reduction in the efficiency. Only 10% of it is moved to the next level. So primary productivity is more than secondary productivity. But coming to net primary productivity, it includes the reduction of respiratory loss. So again, net primary productivity is less than primary productivity. So option 4 states that secondary productivity is equal to net primary productivity. Now this statement is false because as the productivity moves from one level to another level, only 10% is efficiently moving forward. So it is a wrong statement. It is never equal. It is less than the net primary productivity. Question number 58. Now here is a diagrammatic representation of cockroach and we are asked to identify the different parts that are labeled here. Option A is pharynx. Option B is esophagus. Option C is the midgut region. Option D is the colon and option E is the rectum. So where do we have that answer? Pharynx, esophagus, midgut, colon and rectum. Option B. So option B is the, or option 2 is the correct answer. Next, question number 59. Now the diameter of the pupil is regulated by the muscle fibers of, now pupil is the opening to the eye through which the light passes through. Now this opening is regulated by the iris of the eye. So option 2 is the correct answer. Now, moving to question number 60. Thin segment of ascending limb of Henle's loop allows. Now, transport of NaCl into the tubule is a wrong statement because at the thin segment, there is outward movement of NaCl from the tubule, from the tube to the outside. So option 1 is wrong. Reabsorption of urea into the interstitium, which is also not correct. It happens at the region of gut, so wrong. I mean, the collecting duct. Then option 3, reabsorption of water into the interstitium, which is wrong. Water is not absorbed at the thin segment of ascending limb of loop of Henle. Then option 4 state that transport of urea into the tubule, which is correct to maintain the osmotic balance. Here there is transport of urea into the tubule, into the ascending limb, thin segment of ascending limb of loop of Henle. So option 4 is the correct answer. Question number 61. Succus entericus contains. So succus entericus is nothing but intestinal juices. So it contains enterokinase, lactase, and dipeptidases. So option 2 is the correct answer. Why? Rule out the other options. Amylase starts from mouth in the form of salivary amylase. So wrong. Lipases, maltases, and nucleases, they start from the level of stomach. Whereas enterokinase, the activator enzyme, this starts from succus entericus. 62. Select the correct events that occur during respiration. More specifically here, we need to check for the statement. It states expiration. That means while releasing the air to the outside. So what should happen for the air to be released outside? Inside, there should be buildup of pressure. Now, how is that happening? One, there is reduction of pulmonary volume. So decrease in the pulmonary volume. Now, the other one is the diaphragm, which was flat during inspiration, should become arched. So diaphragm is arched upwards. The next one is because of the reduction in the pulmonary volume and due to the diaphragm arching upwards, there is a buildup of pressure in the pulmonary chamber in the thoracic region. So that results in the intrapulmonary pressure increasing. So this together will result in the expiration of the air. So the correct options are B, C, and E, which is in the option 3. The next one is 63. Question number 63. Inactive fibrinogen is activated into actin fibrin by the action of. So the component which converts inactive fibrinogen to active fibrin is thrombin, which is option 2. Now, question number 64. Choose the incorrect match. Again, we should find out the incorrect pair amongst the following. Option 1, muscular dystrophy. So muscular dystrophy is a disease where you have muscle wasting. So progressive degeneration of skeletal muscle. A correct statement. Option 2, tetany. In tetany, we get rapid spasms in the muscle due to the low calcium in the blood. So what does the option state? Rapid spasms in the muscle due to the low calcium in bones, which is not true. For tetany, we need to have low calcium ions in the blood. So option 2 is the incorrect answer. Option 3, myasthenia gravis, which is an autoimmune disorder which affects our neuromuscular junction, which is correct. Gout is a disease where there is inflammation of joints because of the accumulation of uric acid. So option 4 is also correct. Now the incorrect statement is tetany, which is rapid spasms in the muscle due to low calcium ions in the blood but not bone. So option 2 is the incorrect statement or incorrect match. Question number 65. Somatic neural system relays impulses from central nervous system to. So something somatic nervous system involves the one which have voluntary control. Now amongst the following, which muscles are under voluntary control? Smooth muscles are not under our control. Neither are the visceral organs. Visceral organs are also not under our control. Cardiac muscles are also not under our control. But skeletal muscles, the muscles of our body, you can move your hand the way you want. You can move your legs the way you want. You can twist your neck the way you want. Because these are all skeletal muscles which are under the control of somatic neural system, which will relay the impulses to the central nervous system. The correct answer is 4, that is skeletal muscles. Now, question number 66. Choose the correct statements related to menstrual cycle. So option 1 or statement 1 is estrogen is secreted only during follicular phase, which is not true. We have estrogen secreted throughout our month, not just during follicular phase, which is an incorrect statement. Statement 2 states fall in the level of progesterone results in menstruation. True, because progesterone is responsible for maintenance of pregnancy. So, whenever there is fall in the levels of progesterone in the body, that can result in the start of menstruation. So, statement 2 is correct. Statement 3, Secretion of gonadotropins and estrogen increases towards the end of the follicular phase. Correct. Now, the statement 2 and statement 3 can be verified if you look at the graph that is represented in our NCERT textbook near the menstrual cycle, where in the graph they clearly state during the follicular phase, there is raise in the levels of estrogen and the gonadotropins during the end of the follicular phase. Also, there is low levels of, when there is low levels of progesterone, when fall in the level of progesterone in the body, the menstruation period again starts. So option 2 and option 3 are correct. Statement 2 and statement 3. Now, what is statement 4? Progesterone is responsible for regeneration of uterine endometrium during proliferative phase, which is a correct statement. So, during proliferative phase, our body is preparing itself to receive, during proliferative stage, our body is still preparing itself. And here, progesterone is not responsible. Progesterone is found during luteal stages. Okay. So, incorrect statement. Now, what are the correct statements? Option 2 and option 3. So, where are 2 and 3? In the option B. Okay. Moving to question number 67. Enzyme replacement therapy is used in the treatment of ADA deficiency disorder involves. Now, here make a note. It clearly states enzyme replacement therapy. So, for enzyme replacement therapy, what do? We inject the functional ADA into a patient. Okay. That is the treatment for ADA deficiency disorder. And the therapy here is enzyme replacement therapy. We are not inducing the genetically engineered lymphocytes regularly for enzyme replacement therapy. We are injecting the functional ADA into the patient. Okay. Question number 68. Match the following column. So here we have a match the following. Where can we see this following organisms? So Wuchereria bancrofti. Wuchereria bancrofti is found in the lymph vessels. This is the parasite which is responsible for blocking our lymphatic vessels and resulting in their swelling. So A is found in lymph vessels, that is 3. A is 3. B, Plasmodium vivax. It affects our RBC, which is erythrocyte in malaria. Now, option B is 1. So, A3 and B1. C, Trichophyton, which is responsible for ringworm, which is a skin disease. So, found in skin folds. So, C is 5, skin folds. D, Entamoeba histolytica, which is an intestinal disorder. The parasite is found in the walls of the intestine, large intestine. So D is 4. Now what is the answer? A3, B1, C5 and D4, which is found in option 2. So option 2 is the correct answer. Question number 69. Read the statements and choose the option. So statement A states that Down syndrome is a result of aneuploidy caused by the failure of segregation of chromatids during division of cell in the cell cycle, which is correct. So Down syndrome, we have trisomy of chromosome 21. So where we have the problem, we have a failure in the segregation of chromatids during cell division. So it is a correct statement. Now, statement 2 or statement B states that Klinefelter syndrome is caused by the failure of cytokinesis after telophase stage of cell division. Now, this is a wrong statement because in Klinefelter syndrome, we have XXY condition. So again, we have failed to separate the chromatids, failure of disjunction of chromatids, breakdown of chromatids during cell division. So that is not cytokinesis. Cytokinesis means division of cytoplasm is what happens majorly during this stage. So it is not failure of cytokinesis. So option B is a wrong statement. So what is the answer here? Option A is true and option B is false. That is second option. A is true and B is false. Next question, 70th question. Again, choose the incorrect match. So Australian marsupials are an example for adaptive radiation, correct? Industrial melanism is an example for natural selection, correct? Vertebrate brains are example of analogy, that is analogous, false. Vertebrate brains are homologous. They look similar, but their functions are different. Like capability of different vertebrate is different. So vertebrate brains is an example of homologous character or homologous condition. So option 3 is an incorrect statement. Option 4, new dog breeds. So dog breeds are actually artificially selected and developed by selectively breeding them. So we select the breeds and perform the breeding. That is the resultant of the new breed, which is a correct statement. So the incorrect statements amongst the following is option 3. Next question, 71. The World Summit on Sustainable Development was held in, it was held in 2002 in South Africa, whereas the other summits, they happened in 1992 in Rio de Janeiro. So that is not about World Summit, that is about Earth Summit. Question number 72. Which of the following is not a correct match? Again, an incorrect option. Option 1, skin covered with hair, is a character of mammal. So Macropus is correct. Dry skin covered with feathers, that means the character of aves. Neophron, vulture, correct. Conified skin with epidermal scales, character of reptiles. Bungarus is a snake, which is a reptile, correct. Skin is moist and covered. Example is salamander with scales, which is wrong. Salamander is a reptile, but skin is moist in case of amphibians. So option 4 is the incorrect match, where the skin is moist, whereas example should be an amphibian, but salamander is a reptile. Question number 73. Hypothalamic hormone, which increases the blood pressure by constricting effect on the blood vessels. So the hypothalamic hormones are here vasopressin and oxytocin. So vasopressin, also called as antidiuretic hormone. Antidiuretic hormone or vasopressin is responsible for the vasoconstriction, narrowing of blood vessels, which further result in the increase of blood pressure. So antidiuretic hormone. So once again, question number 72. Skin is moist and covered is an example of salamander, but here the incorrect statement is scales. Salamander is a amphibian, but there are no scales. So with scales is the incorrect line. Now, question number 74. Cartilage differs from bone by having. Cartilage is a vascular tissue, just like bone. There are no fibers and no lacunae, which are wrong. But the difference between cartilage and bone is pliability. Your bone is very rigid and firm and hard, whereas cartilage matrix is pliable. So answer is option 4, that is pliability. 75. Which of the following structures is not found in medullary region of kidney? So the nephron has got two parts. The part that is found in the cortex region, the part that is found in the medullary region. The PCT, DCT, Bowman's capsule are found in the cortex region, and the juxtaglomerular apparatus or the JG apparatus happens to be found at the DCT region. So, amongst the following options, the one which cannot be found in the medullary region of the kidney is the juxtaglomerular apparatus, whereas the collecting duct, loop of Henle, and vasa recta extend into the medullary region of the kidney. Next comes the question number 76, that is number of curvatures in clavicle bone. Now this is the question that could be answered if you pay keen attention to the diagram given in your textbooks. So clavicle has got two curvatures. So option 1 is the correct answer. Now question number 77. Total volume of air a person can expire after normal inspiration. So here simply the statement means expiratory capacity. So which is nothing but total volume of air a person can release out after having a normal expiration. Now amongst the following, what represents the expiratory capacity? Expiratory capacity is tidal volume plus ERV, expiratory reserve volume. So option 2 is the correct answer. 78. In the incomplete double circulation, heart pumps out. So incomplete double circulation is found in amphibians because of a partially separated ventricle. Now the type of blood that is circulated from the heart in a incomplete double circulation is mixed blood. Okay, whereas only deoxygenated blood is pumped by the heart in case of single circulation. Blood opens into open spaces in lower grade organisms, not in the higher grade organisms, and only oxygenated blood can be pumped in case of double circulation. So here the correct answer is mixed blood. Question number 79. Thin filaments in the skeletal muscle fiber do not contain. So tropomyosin found in thin filaments. Actin is found. Troponin is found in the thin filaments, whereas meromycin is found in the thick filaments of the skeletal muscle. If you remember heavy meromycin and light meromycin, they are found in the thick filaments of the skeletal muscle. So option 3 is the correct answer. Next comes question number 80. Which of the following statement is false? So dependence may lead to many social adjustment problems, which is true. Dependence means depending upon any source or any drug, getting addicted or getting leaned towards the usage of any particular material can impose socially adjusting problems, which is a correct statement. Option number 2, cocaine is a potent sedative with action on central nervous system. Now this statement is wrong. The drug with the sedative function is morphine, not cocaine. Cocaine is euphoric drug. So cocaine is acting on the dopamine of the body and not on the central nervous system, or not having a sedative action. So cocaine is not a potent sedative, which is a false statement here. Now, option 3, hepatitis B vaccine is produced from yeast. Correct. Bone marrow is the main lymphoid organ. Yes, correct. From where we get all our cells. So, Amongst the following options, option 2 is the incorrect statement. Cocaine is not a potent sedative. So option 2 is the incorrect statement. Question number 81. Select the option including all sexually transmitted diseases. So simply the question is asking for the examples of sexually transmitted diseases. Option 1, syphilis, trichomoniasis, and filariasis, where filariasis is not a sexually transmitted disease. Option 2, genital herpes, chlamydiasis, and leishmaniasis. No, leishmaniasis is not a sexually transmitted disease. Option 3, gonorrhea, diarrhea, and plague. Diarrhea and plague are not sexually transmitted diseases. Option 4, chlamydiasis, genital warts, and trichomoniasis. Yes, these three are the sexually transmitted diseases. So option 4 is the correct answer. Question number 82. The age pyramid with a broad base indicates. So while having a age pyramid representation, whenever there is a base with large broad base, it indicates the number of youngsters in that population. So whenever we have a broad base in an age pyramid, it indicates that the future of that area or the population of that area is going to increase in the near future. So age pyramid with a broad base indicates the expanding population with high percentage of young individuals, which is option 3. Next comes question number 83. Now here they're asking for the correct option. So statement A states that for many taxonomic groups, species inventories are mostly complete in temperate than in tropical countries. So species inventories contain the details about the species found in an area. So since the temperate regions have relatively less species diversity and variation compared to tropical countries, so they can be easily gathered than the tropical countries. So option A is a correct statement. Coming to statement B, temperate environments are less seasonal and relatively more constant and predictable. Now this is an incorrect statement. Why? Because temperate areas are known to be more seasonal with unpredictable climate and extreme climatic conditions. Thus, statement B is an incorrect statement. Now, coming to the options, what is the correct answer? Option A is true, whereas option B is false. That is option number 2. A is true and B is false. Moving to next question, question number 84. Global warming can be controlled by. Now, improving the efficiency of energy usage and cutting down of trees. Now, definitely cutting down of trees is not going to help us with the global warming. Option B, slowing down the growth of human population and increasing the usage of fossil fuels. Again, the usage of fossil fuels is going to increase the carbon dioxide levels in the environment, which is not at all advisable in case of global warming. Option 3, reducing the efficiency of energy usage and reducing reforestation. Now, reforestation means regrowing the forest, increasing the forest land. Now, reducing the forest land or reducing the process of reforestation is also not going to help us with global warming. Now, option 4, planting trees and cutting down the usage of fossil fuels. Now, this is the correct option. Planting more number of trees and dropping the usage of fossil fuels will relatively reduce the levels of carbon dioxide in the environment, thus helping us in reducing the global warming as a result. So option 4 is the correct answer. Now moving to question number 85. Increase in the concentration of toxicant at successive trophic levels is called as. Now, in a food chain, as you go on to the next successive levels, moving on to the next levels, if there is any toxin substance that is raising in its concentration, it is called biomagnification. And the example for that is DDT. So that by the time it reaches the birds which are in the highest trophic level, it is multiplying by many folds and resulting in the calcium metabolism in those species. So that is one classic example for biomagnification. Now moving to section B, question number 86. Which of the following is the correct combination of diploblastic animals? When we say diploblastic animals, it involves usually the poriferans, cnidarians, ctenophores. Now we should check for the examples of these phyla amongst the options. Now first option states sea-pen, seahorse, and sea-fan. Now sea-pen and sea-fan are correct amongst cnidarians, whereas seahorse is a category of Pisces. So, which is a triploblastic phyla. Now, option B is ruled out. Moving to option 2, sea anemone, sea pen, and sea hare. Sea anemone and sea pen again are cnidarians, whereas sea hare is a mollusk. Now, mollusk again is a triploblastic phyla. So, option 2 is also ruled out. Option 3 is sea fan, sea urchin, and sea fur. Now, sea fan and sea fur are again cnidarians, whereas sea urchin is a classic example for Echinodermata. So, option 3 is also ruled out because Echinodermata is again a triploblastic species. Moving to option 4, sea walnut, sea anemone, and sea fan. These are all the examples of ctenophores and cnidarians, which are diploblastic species. So, option 4 is the correct answer. Moving to question number 87, identify the correct set of edible marine fishes. Now here, the point that you should check for is the marine. So amongst the following options, you should pick the answer which has both the marine fishes. Option 1 states common carp and rohu, which are freshwater fishes. So rule it out. Sardines and katla. Katla is again a freshwater fish. Option 4 is clarias and hilsa. Clarias again freshwater, so rule out. Option 3 is pomfrets and mackerels. Now these both are examples of edible marine fishes. So option 3 is the correct answer for question number 87. Moving to question number 88, Pelicosaurus are. Now, this you do not find it in the theory part of the textbook. You have to check for the graphical representation of evolution and different eras of the Paleological period. So, from that, the answer will be synapsids. Pelicosaurus are the examples of synapsids. So, they are descending from the synapsids. So, option 3 is the correct answer. Moving to question number 89. In the following population interactions, at least one interacting species is benefited, except in. So here, we should check for the answer in which both of them are getting affected by the interaction. There is no benefit, but there is only loss in case of this interaction. Now, copepods and marine fishes, here copepods are benefited, whereas marine fishes have no trouble with the interaction. So, they are also parasites on fishes. So, it is a plus and minus relationship in the interaction. One is benefited and one is affected. Tiger and deer. Tiger is benefited and deer is affected. So, option 1 and option 3 are ruled out. Barnacles on whale. So barnacles take the help of whale in displacing from one place to another. So your barnacles are having the advantage, whereas whales have no problem in the interaction. Coming to Balanus and Catamalis in option 2. Here they have the interaction of competition. So option 2 is the correct answer, where the interaction has no benefit to either of the species. Next question is question number 90. What type of ecological pyramid would obtained from the following data? Now, what is happening here? The primary producer has 7,000 joules of energy, whereas the primary consumer has 700 joules of energy. Secondary consumer has 70 joules of energy. So, this indicates the upright pyramid of energy, because as we go to the higher trophic levels, what is happening in the food chain? There is reduction in the energy from one level to another. which gives us the upright pyramid of energy. So option 3 is the correct answer. Next comes question number 91. Which of the following became extinct due to alien species invasions? So first option is Nile perch in East Africa, which is an incorrect statement. Nile perch itself is an alien species in the East African region. African catfishes in Indian rivers. Again, African catfishes itself are alien species, so they are not correct answers. Option 3, cichlid fishes in Lake Victoria. Now, this is the correct answer. Because of the invasion of Nile perch in the Lake Victoria, the cichlid fishes that are local or indigenous to that East African region have become extinct. So, option 3 is the correct answer. Now, again, option 4 states carp fishes in India, which is not extinct. So, option 4 is not a correct statement. Question number 92. Choose the incorrect statement. Option 1. Thermal waste reduces the number of organisms sensitive to high temperature. So, yes, the introduction of thermal waste into the water bodies resulted in the death of organisms which are sensitive to high temperatures. So, option 2, recycling carried out in environment friendly manner is the only solution for treatment of e-waste, correct? Recycling is one of the best methods for environmentally friendly management of e-waste. Option 3, polyblend help to increase the road life by reducing the water repellent properties of bitumen. Now, here is the point that you should note. Yes, polyblend is helping to increase the road life, but by increasing the water repellent properties of bitumen would be the correct statement. But here the question is given as reducing, which is not correct. So option 3 is the incorrect statement. Now again, option 4 states that in stratosphere, UV rays act on the chlorofluorocarbons, which in return will release the chlorine atoms, which will catalyze the degradation of ozone, which is the correct statement. So option 3 is the incorrect statement for question number 92. Next comes question number 93. Which of the following is incorrect about hemichordates? So hemichordates are triploblastic. They are bilaterally symmetrical. They have stomochord, which extends up to the proboscis of the body, which is also correct. But the fertilization is external in case of hemichordates. So option 3 is incorrect. Fertilization is external in case of hemichordates. That is the correct statement. But internal is given in the question. So it is a wrong statement. Now, open circulation and gill respiration are also correct in relation to hemichordates. So option 3 is the right answer. Moving to next question. Glycogenesis is stimulated by. So glycogenesis means synthesis of glycogen from glucose. That is glycogenesis. Now, which hormone does that function? It is insulin. Insulin is the one which is responsible for conversion of glucose to glycogen. So option 4, insulin is the correct answer. Next comes question number 95. Cholecystokinin is the secretion of. Now, cholecystokinin is secreted from the duodenum, which is responsible for contraction of gallbladder. So option 1 is the correct answer. Next comes question number 96. Which of the following gastric glands secrete the factor essential for absorption of vitamin B12? Now, Castle intrinsic factor is the one which is responsible for absorption of vitamin B12 into the body. Now, this Castle intrinsic factor is secreted into the body from the parietal cells of the gastric gland. So, option 2 would be the correct answer. Moving to next question, 97, which is again a match the following. Now here, column A has transgenic cow. Now what does the transgenic cow does? It is producing us a alpha-lactalbumin rich human protein. So option A from column A 1 to option 2 from column 2. Transgenic mice. Now what do the transgenic mice help in? They are helping in checking for the polio vaccine safety. So B to 3. C, alpha-1 antitrypsin. Now, what does it do? It is helping us in the treatment of emphysema, alpha-1 antitrypsin. So C1, crime-1 AB gene. So it is helping with the corn borer. So D is 4. Now A 2, B 3, C 1, D 4. Where do we have those options? We have it in option 1. So 97, option 1 is the correct answer. Next comes question number 98. Read the given statements and select the correct option. Statement A, the testes secretes androgens which stimulate erythropoiesis. It is a correct statement. Androgens from the testes are responsible for the erythropoiesis. They are stimulating erythropoiesis. It is true. Statement B, the atrial wall of the heart produces atrial natriuretic factor, ANF, which increases the blood pressure. Now here is the wrong statement. Atrial wall, yes, it is producing atrial natriuretic factor, but what does the ANF do? It is dilating the blood vessels. It is reducing the blood pressure in return. So statement B is incorrect. Now, what is the correct answer? Statement A is correct and statement B is incorrect, which is found in option 1. So also check for the correct options also. Question number 99. The process of evolution of different species in a given geographical area, starting from a point and literally radiating to other areas of geography, is called as adaptive radiation. Correct. Which of the following is represented by adaptive radiation? The Darwin's finches, Australian marsupials, and placental mammals. All these are examples of adaptive radiation. So what is the correct statement? Option number 4. Question number 100. Choose the incorrect combination. So 1, anemia, sickle cell synthesis of incorrectly functioning beta globin chain. True. In sickle cell anemia, we have a problem with the functioning of beta globin. Now, 2, hemophilia. It is a sex-linked recessive trait which affects the synthesis of hemoglobin. Now, this is a wrong statement. Hemophilia, yes, it is a sex-linked recessive trait. But here, the problem is with the clotting factors, not with the hemoglobin. So, option 2 is incorrect. Then comes 3, phenylketonuria. So, what happens in phenylketonuria? There is problem with the phenylalanine hydroxylase, because of which phenylalanine is not converted to tyrosine. So, option 3 is also correct. Thalassemia. It is a problem in which there is reduced rate of synthesis of globin chains of hemoglobin. Correct. So, what is the incorrect combination? Question number 100. Option 2, hemophilia. So, that is the last question. So, with this, we've finished with the discussion of the key to the zoology questions. Thank you, everyone. All the best.